Still disappointed after the loss on a Friday night, and I had a team meeting with our team, and I told them, I said that we expected more. We had worked hard, and we were prepared for this game. But I would say this to you: that team is not 49 points better than us. I would say that I still have confidence, and I believe in this football team, and I know that we're going to go take care of our business. And yes, we could have played much better than what we did. And you look at it, all three phases, from the offensive side to the defensive side to the kicking game. Everybody had their part. Everybody had their share of it. But when you play a team as good as Wisconsin, you cannot have mistakes. And we knew that going into the game, and we knew that we had to play exceptional to go beat this team. And so when you start off the way we did, and you like to get going early, especially on offense, we throw the corner route, the ball is dropped. Then we come back the next series, we throw a post route, the ball is dropped. And then it's almost, now you can make a team one-dimensional, which they did. They made us one-dimensional because we didn't do a great job of running the football and putting hats on people and getting our landmarks. So when that happens, now you make us one-dimensional, and now we had to throw the ball almost every snaps, which allowed them to tee off on us. Defensively, we were able to make some stops, but even our kicking game, we tried to. We were able to place the ball. We thought we had some big returns, could have got better return yardage. But we just have to go back to work. The game is still about fundamentals and technique. It's about blocking and tackling, and it's about us improving. And we got to improve from game one to game two. This can't be a setback for us, and we just got to make sure that we don't make it a distraction. And we got to let this game go, and can't let this game beat us twice, and go get ready for the next one.
Do you think players have moved on and are past that now?
Well, I meet with them every morning, and I think even this morning I told them, I said, listen, guys, we got to get past it. We got to go on the road now to play Georgia Tech. And yes, we didn't play good. I know you're all disappointed because you expected so much, you put so much work into it, but it's time. We have to move on, and we can't let this game beat us twice. We're going to go out here and practice here in a few minutes, and I said now it's all about the preparation to get ready for Georgia Tech. And this is a game that we know it. We saw their Clemson game. They saw our Wisconsin game. So now we're going there. We're on the road. So we have to go play well.
The offensive line issues, was it a missed assignment thing, being out physical, a little bit of both?
Well, a lot of times when you look at it, Joey, and we really didn't give them a chance because you look at us at how we started off early. We were able to get some plays on them. And then, like I said, when you make a team one-dimensional, it's just like if we go in and we stop somebody from running the ball, you allow us to tee off now and just go rush the passer. Now, every snap, you dropping back to they are speed rushers, so you're dropping back to try to block a speed rusher. Then when you're not completing the balls, then you take no pressure off. If we just had to just made a play where it takes one guy to go make a play, we could have just ran the ball better, or we just could have caught some of the short routes, then we've been okay. Now you could have loosened it up, and our offensive line wouldn't have had to, get exposed the way they got exposed because of, here they come. And those rushers were really wide, and they were speed rushers, and, you're trying to push them by, and then he can beat you on an up and under, which forced our quarterback to step up. But we got to do a better job of just making a play and protecting, and not only when you play well on offense and you don't make yourself one-dimensional, then you're able to run the ball. Now you can put pressure on the defense where you make them defend the run, which they didn't have to the other night.
Is Blake still the guy for Saturday?
Yes, and I know everyone talks about Blake, but you look at when he first started off, he was sharp. He made for 2 series, he looked really good, and then all of a sudden, when you drop balls and you're not able to run the football, then if we have a quarterback like that and we have a defense with our defense, we're going to get after him too. So it was tough on him, and you can't. And there's someone who understands it, and yes, he will still be our guy, but. It all doesn't fall on Blake. I mean, the way we played the other night, even with the coaches, it's enough to go around for everybody.
I see Kirk Livingstone is listed starting defensive tackle after practicing, in fall camp, all spring, all fall at defensive end. Talk about that decision to move him inside.
No, but what it is, Kurt he's the end. So when we go Kegler and Pinkney inside with Kurt and Reeves on the outside. So when we go to our nickel, our speed package, then he'll go in to play in because then Slade will come on the field and he'll play the outside backer. So it gives us our speed guys. So now Slade can rush, and you look at Kurt making that sack the other night where we had our speed people on the field. Kegler goes in those, and then Reeves goes to the end position. So now you're able to get those four guys in the package. But that's why he's listed there defensive tackle because in our speed package is where he is.
Could you speak to how the transfers play on defense, especially Megan, of course?
Well, Macon had a really big night, and it's I think he hit the ball 15 times. Had a sack, but Macon's he's got a good body on him. He's heavy, so he's able to take on guys, and he can get guys off of him because he can sit down and work behind his pads. Then you look at Slade had a play really well for us, and he was able to. He's strong enough also where he can get off of guys and get his body small enough to get in the hole. KJ, I don't even know if they threw one pass at KJ. I think that KJ, did a unbelievable job, and who else got Slade? KJ. Stud, and then Stud still did a really good job tackling at the safety position for us, and when you look at those four guys, what they added to our defense was really good because they played very well for us, and those guys that we were counting on because when you lose some guys, then those guys come in because like I said, Slade's in the speed package with us. A Stud still started at the safety position, and then Macon had the big night inside, and KJ on the outside. The thing with KJ, he brings so much energy too, and he plays at a really high level. But those guys, the four of them did a really outstanding job for us.
Do you have any contingency plans in case the weather were to turn bad the next few days?
Well, right. That's why we're going out right here in a few minutes so we can try to get us another practice in. So if it goes on Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll try to use the Bucks facility, which we did, one day last week. But that's our only plan. So we just got to work around the weather. Usually like now that they have a day off, you like to bring them in a little later, but it's so tough because we gotta practice around the weather so that we can get our work in. And then if we're out there on the field and something happens, we have to come in, we'll go back out and finish it.
That again brings up the idea, though, why not go ahead and build the indoor facility? And instead of waiting for the whole time, I know you want the whole thing, but it seems to me the most urgent need you have right now is for something so you don't have to worry about practices, the kids don't have to worry about, we're starting at 9. Why
Right.
not go ahead and do that?
Well, and I think that's in the making. I think that's going to happen because it really is. It just becomes where you got to call the player and say, hey, listen, we got to change the meeting till 9 o'clock this morning instead of coming in at 2 o'clock, and it does. And it's really frustrating some days because you want to get it done, and then they may have plans, and then you can't. When in the afternoon, our guys are in class, so you have to go in the morning. So you can never go in the afternoon because of the class scheduling. But I think that's in the plans now. You're right, we need to get that done. Because even last week, we had a day out there where it just poured, so we have a tent out there, so we went under the tent for a few minutes till it finished, and then we went back out with the work. And it is. And I think that our players deserve better, and they deserve more, and we got to do a better job of it, and we need that facility.
So you think they might go ahead and build that instead of waiting till they get all the money to build the whole thing? You think they could start that?
I think there's going to be some conversations with that and see if we can't get something moving. Because it not only helps football, it helps all sports. Because soccer's out there practicing with us, and baseball is going to start up soon. And then you have so many sports that can use that facility when we're not in there, so they can wrap their schedule around it now and can use it.
Going back, Wisconsin started their average field position, starting field position last week was their own 47.
Mm-hmm.
Started ahead of their 35, like 47% of the times. How important is it to make Georgia Tech drive the football the length of the field?
You know, anytime you get into a game, field position is so critical. And you're right. And you look at where they started with the football, and that's where when you have you're playing against a good team, that can happen. So with Georgia Tech, what they're doing now on offense, you know, even though it isn't the option, they still got an option feel to it. Because the quarterback is a big runner for them still, and last year he's the one that came in and hurt us there in the second half when we hurt the one. Then he came in with the quarterback sweeps, quarterback counter. But with any team, you want to make sure that you get them backed up. Look where our field position was. I think we started 3 or 4 times inside our 20, which is tough when you have to be able to make people drive the field. And with us, you know, when we're backed up, then you got to get 2 first downs and hoping you can get a good play, and then you can move the ball. But you have to make a move. And even with Wisconsin starting where it was, I thought our defense, you know, a couple of times we went out there and played very well. You know, with the one time we went for it there early, and I think it was backed up around the 25. We went out and got a stop. They missed the field goal. But it's tough on the defense when you give them that type of field position.
This Georgia Tech team, obviously, new coach, but familiar to this program. I mean, Jeff Collins with being at Temple last year. Is there a little bit of familiarity between that and makes the game week a little easier?
Well, what happens if you can look at Temple, and even though the personnel is different, the scheme is still similar. Like on defense, they're going to do the same things they did at Temple with the defensive scheme. And then, you know, offensively, I think what he's done, he's catered to his personnel, because the quarterback for them is the one that makes their offense go. So, and they got 2 or 3. They got one who's a runner, then they bring another one in who ends up being a thrower for them. But we have to play well, and we got to handle our business, and we need to go out there and make sure that, you know, on defense your gap sound and you're very disciplined, because the quarterback's going to take off with the ball. We don't need to give him the big runs. You know, we need to corral the ball. Just, you know, we just played a really outstanding running back who we kind of, you know, we held our own at some times during that game, but this quarterback, we can't let him get going. And defensively, with our offense, we got to be able to move the ball, just get first downs and just move the chains and get the ball down the field and just drive it. You know, we don't need big plays. Just drive the football.
It's been a year since Horn broke out. How close is he now to being the Horn that we saw last year against Georgia Tech?
Well, I think he's getting there with Horn, and with him now it's a confidence, and it is. Anytime you have a major injury, and when you're trying to come back, it's more as you know, guys trying to build their confidence, and you know, the other night I don't think he got a ball, but he'll play a major role in this game. We just got to, you know, figure out a way to put the ball in his hands, because he has a lot of speed, and just let him go play. But it's with him, he got to believe in himself that he's getting there, and he's getting better with the injury.
When will he be involved in the return game? So we can do that?
The only thing we haven't put him back there yet, because, you know, with the return game is where you get those big hits. You know, like you look at the other night with Bentley, he got a really good whack, and Bentley does a good job, but you just sometimes you get afraid where if you turn a guy loose and he comes from the blind side, and then that's when you get most of your hits. You know, a guy coming from the blind side, he never sees him because he's returning here. But I think that once we feel more confident, he feels more confident, then we will put him back there.
What you did last year, I mean, 2 returns against Georgia Tech, I think you might be the only guy to ever do it in 1 quarter.
Right.
How big of a feat was that, and how crushing was it to have a turnaround and have him gone that quick?
Oh, well, it was really big because it helped our return game. And you think about it, he had 2, and then he had a third one. He let the kicker kind of trip him. It was a shoestring tackle, and it goes down. It would have been 3 for him. But and then you're right. Then to see, you know, a couple of games later, he actually went down at practice. You know, we're just out there in the drill, and it happens a lot. You know, where a guy is, you know, out in a drill and there's no one even near him, and then he just lands wrong. But it hurt us just because of what he brought to the speed that he brought to the team, and getting those yards. Because people would have started kicking the ball either out of bounds or just they wouldn't have kicked it down there at all. If they couldn't kick it in the end zone, they would have had to figure out a way to get it down there. But I think that he's going to get back. I don't know if he's back just yet. Oh, he's not back 100% yet, but he'll get there eventually.
Looked like Xavier Weaver played a little bit on the outside. I mean, one of 2 offensive freshmen, true freshmen to crack the depth chart. What's he he brought so far?
Well, X-Man's had a really good camp, and we knew that we was going to play him some. And the thing about it, he's been working hard, so he deserve it. And our guys understand that if they work hard enough, then they're going to get their opportunity to go play. I think he ran a curl route, kind of slipped down. That's when Blake really threw him a really good ball. I was happy the defensive back slipped down too, because he would have picked that ball and that would have been a 7 going the other way, because X falls, then the DB tries to go over him, and then he falls, then the ball comes out there. But he's doing a good job for us. He just needs to continue to work it, and he will and get better.
I know things snowballed on you the other night, took you kind of out of what you wanted to do, but do you need to try to get Mitch more involved?
Yes, when you look at it, Wilcox need to be more involved. We need and Kerwin knows that, and then Cronkite, we need to get him going, because those are two guys in our offense that they've shown that they can do it. Cronkite, being a 1,000-yard rusher last season, and then I think Mitch only caught one ball, and you love to see more. And usually, when you're not playing good as a quarterback, one guy you always look to is the tight end, because you feel like I can get the ball dumped off to him and he can make plays for us. But Mitch definitely needs to get involved, because he's a big piece of our offense.